Yeah, so I watched the Beyond Stranger Things on Netflix right after I watched the whole show. And, like, this guy, I think his name is, Sean Levy.
Yeah.
He gives me the absolute creeps. And then I saw him last night at the Golden Globes with the whole, and his little, like, smile where he's like, I'm smiling. Ugh.
Have you ever seen the Duffer Brothers?
Yeah. Look at his smile. Like, he just looks like a creep.
You're right. He looks like, kind of like a mouse.
Yeah. Like, if a mouse was personified, it would be him.
Yeah. Are the Duffer Brothers twins? I've never seen what they look like.
They are. It took me a long time to realize that they were twins, even though they look exactly alike. I was like, are those two twins?
They look exactly alike.
But it still took me a long time. Look, they even part their hair on different sides so it meets in the middle.
That's catchy, though, their name. I always liked it.
Yeah.
Duffer Brothers.
Yeah.
Hopefully they're not creeps.
They don't look like creeps.
No.
That other guy is just so creepy.
They look like decent men.
Like, in the Beyond Stranger Things thing, he always, like, had to interrupt to say something. He's just like, oh, and then I said this. And I was like, dude, just stop trying to be the center of attention.
Is he British?
No. That wasn't a British accent.
Oh. I have to watch that. I haven't seen it.
Yeah, he's the worst part. Anyway, so, here's the deal. Hi, I'm Emily Hazard.
And I'm Amy Scaria.
And today we're here talking about Stranger Things.
Season 2 mostly.
Yeah, well, season 1 and 2 together. And just the cultural phenomenon that is Stranger Things.
If you haven't seen it yet, especially season 2, spoiler alert.
Spoiler heavy.
Spoiler, spoiler, spoiler. Don't sue us. Please.
Freedom of speech, but okay.
Yeah, true. Still possible.
So let's start with just like a broad question, which is, which season did you enjoy more and why?
I actually enjoyed season 2 more. I think there were mixed thoughts on this question. I've met people who like season 1 more, but I like season 2 because it expanded more on the characters. And I feel like we got to know more about the plot or what's really going on in this world. Whereas the first season, it was so up in the air. Yeah. I'm going to agree with you. I like season 2 better. And, I mean, maybe this is because, like, I watched them literally back to back. Like, I watched the finale, and then I started the next season right away. So it's not like I had any time to digest season 1. But, like, I thought that the acting was better. I thought that the special effects were better, obviously, because they had more money. They had a bigger budget. I actually liked the Demodogs better than the one big Demogorgon. Really?
I think, yeah.
I actually liked the Demogorgon aspect.
Well, I think it was because it was like you're fighting one dog, but you never know if there's another one near you. So it's like with the Demogorgon, it's like what's right in front of you is what you're fighting. But with the dogs, it's like scarier because you don't know how many there are, or like if they're hiding or stuff like that. I also liked almost all the new characters. Yeah. I know a lot of people had issues with like Max or whatever. No. I liked her.
I liked her a lot, too. Yeah.
I feel like the biggest problem with Max is that they didn't give her enough to do.
Right. She seemed just like a character for a little romance.
Yeah, it was like a love triangle character, but we actually didn't give a crap about the love triangle.
Exactly.
And then the last thing that I'll say about season 1 is that, like, it's awesome, it's great, but I feel like if a show is going to be really good, which this one is, I feel like the season 1 is always kind of like the pilot episode where it's like, here are all the rules of the show. And then season 2 is when they all pay off. Yeah. So it's like they have to spend so much time setting up in season 1 that, like, all their hard work doesn't pay off until season 2. Yeah. If you know what I mean.
Yeah, you're right. Sense? I agree. With season 1, they set up so much with Elle in the laboratory, whereas in season 2, we got to see more about the laboratory and what they're really doing. Well, I feel like that wasn't solved yet. No. What they're actually doing.
Yeah, and that kind of bothered me. I thought we were going to learn more about that. And instead, we got, like, whatever that episode 7 was.
I think they're going to drag that on until they can.
Yeah. Right. As long as they can, yeah.
But yeah, season 2 was awesome. But I will say, there were some aspects I didn't like, which I'll reveal later on, of season 2.
Yeah, I mean, of course. There's always going to be something you don't like.
Yeah. Like a whole episode.
Like that random episode in the middle that nobody wanted.
Yeah. Filler episodes.
Ugh. Yeah.
They're awesome.
Like, I kind of stray away from saying, like, oh, this is a filler episode. Like, whatever. This was a filler episode. Like, there's no doubt in my mind. This was completely filler to me.
Yeah, but I mean, at the same way, I feel like it was definitely setting up for things in season 3. They had to introduce
it. Not. Like, I didn't like it that much.
What if we like it later on?
You mean, like, what if we like what they do with Callie?
With Kali, yeah.
Kali?
What if... Who knows? What if she becomes awesome? Her name, Kali, is a goddess of destruction. Mm-hmm. And I was like, ooh, she's going to be cool. She's going to destroy things. But she was just meh.
I had an immediate knee-jerk reaction to her from, like, because they opened season 2 with that character. And I had this, like, horrible knee-jerk reaction to her because it reminded me overtly of Once Upon a Time. And what they did on Once Upon a Time was that they would start seasons by introducing characters like that. And then they got to the point where, like, each new half season, they introduced, like, 7 new characters. And then all the spotlight was stolen away from the character, like, the main characters, the ones you really wanted. And I was just like, I'm okay with Kali right now. But if they keep doing this, then we're not going to see Mike. Yeah. Or we're not going to, the characters we actually care about.
I agree. I think it was bad on their part to start the season with her. Because, like, when I first turned it on, my mom was like, is this even the right show? Mm-hmm. And we were so confused. We only knew it was part of the show because it showed her tattoo.
Yeah.
That said, like, 8. And we're like, oh.
Why do they all have to have powers, too?
Well, wasn't that the point of the lab? To give them powers?
Was it to give them powers, or was it to study powers that they already had?
I think the powers were a byproduct of the experiments they were doing. And to give them powers. I have my theory of what they're trying to do in the lab, but maybe we'll share that later.
Yeah. Actually, one thing about season 1 that really kind of disappointed me was, like, when they... I think it was season 1. When they got Will back or something like that, there was a scene where they had this, like... And I was, like, 100%. I was like, this is totally going to happen. I thought that they were going to show his arm and he was going to be 12. Mm. And I was like, that's the shit. And then season 2 was going to be, like, him exploring his powers and realizing that he has powers now. And he, like, scared and, like, I don't know what to do with this. And maybe there was, like, an 11 thing with that. But, like, no. Maybe
his weird hallucinations and stuff is... Well, it definitely is a byproduct of the lab. In the same way that 11 and 8's powers are a byproduct.
Maybe.
You know what I mean?
Also with the whole, like, 8, I'm just like, oh my god. Like, I can just see it coming. It's going to be like one of those Once Upon a Time things. We're going to meet 1 and 2. And, and I'm like, I don't want to meet a bunch of new characters.
I don't want to meet a bunch of new ones. But I wouldn't mind in between, like a 10 or a 9.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe to make Kali better. I don't know. Then again, in season 2, we only saw that 11 and 8 were, like, playmates, and they were the only ones there. Mm-hmm. Like, 11 didn't remember any other experiments. Mm-hmm. She just remembered the one girl who she thought was, like, her sister. So maybe it is just them two.
I kind of hope so. Another reason why they might not have gone there with Will is because then 11 and Will would have had a deeper connection than 11 and Mike, and that they probably didn't want to go into. That kind of makes sense.
Yeah. And I feel like Will was just an accident, whereas 11 and 8, they purposefully, since they were born, have been prodding on. So I have a question.
Yeah.
Why do you think this show is such a phenomenon? Like, why do you think everyone is raving about it? You see famous people. You see your grandma, the lady down the block. Everyone is talking about this show. Why do you think?
So, the first thing that I thought of was 80s references. But then I was thinking, like, it's funny because I watched this show and then I was like, I have nothing really else to watch. So, recently, a few weeks ago, I got into Freaks and Geeks. I watched the whole thing in, like, 2 days.
Yeah.
And that also has copious 80s references.
Right.
But there's something about that show that didn't take off like this one does.
Yeah.
I also think it's one of those things where it's like, if you slap Netflix onto it, it's like slapping, like, Under Armour onto a t-shirt. It's automatically people want it more.
Yeah.
With the 13 Reasons Why. Like, I could not get through that show. I just couldn't. Like, I got to episode 7, I was like, this is boring.
I made myself get through that show.
Yeah.
But I agree, Freaks and Geeks, I think, didn't take off because That show aired in the 2000s, and I feel like it was kind of based on the 90s, you know.
It wasn't enough time.
Yeah, it wasn't enough time. And I read an article that nostalgia always goes back 30 years, which is weird. So I guess in the 80s, they were freaking out about the 50s and so on. And so now in this time period, we're freaking out about the 80s. It's just, nostalgia goes back 30 years or something.
Yeah.
And we all crave that. Because that generation is now the grown generation, and they're yearning for their past. And I don't know, 80s is just such a kooky, weird time.
Yeah. And this show does an extraordinary job with, like, getting every detail right. Although there were some details that they did get wrong. And I watched, like, a whole video on, like, all these things, like, this car wasn't invented yet. Yeah, I just love all those little touches and stuff like that.
Yeah. And I feel like, I don't know, the 80s was such a great time for music. And it was such a strange time. I feel like the plot fits with it. The plot's so outworldly, like otherworldly, and it just fits with that time period.
Well, it's based on a true story, that there was a small town that had a lab kind of like this, and everyone, like, it was like a rumor mill.
Yeah.
It was like, what are they doing in there? And they thought it was like something to do with the Russians. And then obviously they took that idea and just exploded it into these like supernatural dog things.
I heard about that.
Yeah. And then I think those are two. Well, the 80s references is a big thing, but the 100% the biggest reason is because the show stars kids.
Oh, yeah.
That's why.
Definitely.
Because, like, and that's my favorite part about this show.
Right.
Is the kids. Because, like, it's an adult show that stars kids. It's not like an iCarly or, like, a Zoe 101, where it's like a kids show that stars kids.
Yeah.
It's an adult show that stars kids.
Right. Even in iCarly and Zoe 101, they're kind of like teens navigating through.
I like the awkward middle school.
And it's kind of like the phenomenon with It and with, you know, like the Goonies and all these Stephen King's books. They all star little children. And there's something fascinating about seeing little children trying to do grown-up things. And they sometimes do it better than us.
Well,
you know
it's just
what I mean?
so interesting, too, because it's like, they're what, like 11 and 12, right?
Yeah, I think they're going into high school.
I think they're going into high school
maybe
next
13?
season.
Yeah.
Or did they? Were they in middle school? Yeah, because they were in 8th grade. There was the dance or whatever.
Yeah.
And
either way, they're young.
Whatever.
They're young.
At least
teenagers.
in season 1, they were in middle school.
13 or 14 at most.
Yeah. The thing that's similar, this show is very similar to Freaks and Geeks, like when I was watching it. But Freaks and Geeks always missed opportunities. Like, I would watch an episode and I'm like, you missed, like, a really good opportunity for, like, more meaning here. Or, like, you missed it here. And I was just like, there's so many tiny little things about that show that if they switched them, it would have made it so much better. Yeah. And this show, I feel like it nails it.
Also, I think Freaks and Geeks deals with some older concepts, too, like drug use and, like, sexual identity and stuff.
Yeah.
Whereas this is just, like, pure kids navigating...
Just, like, fun.
Yeah. In a crazy world.
I remember what I was going to say. Yeah. It's always so interesting because they're like 11 and 12 and you have to think about all the things that you couldn't do when you were that age. So, like, how are they going to get around? Bikes. Yeah. They have to use their bikes because there's no way that they can drive.
Yeah, I love that.
Those tiny little things are like they're in schools, you know? So the, like, Mr. Clark or whatever has to... It's just interesting how you have to, like, think about, oh, yeah, they don't have as many resources as even, like, Steve has. Yeah. You know?
They have to call up their science teacher or check their textbook to figure out the science.
Or, the age, the day and age of the show.
Right.
Yeah. The era. That's what I was trying to say.
So cool. Yeah, nostalgia's a big thing,
But that can't be the only thing. You can't completely glide on nostalgia.
Oh, yeah. It's definitely the kids aspect. Like, It was such a big thing this past year because it was like Stranger Things. It was so much like Stranger Things. It even had one of the same actors as Stranger Things.
Which one?
The actor who played Mike, Finn.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, I never watched it because, to be honest, it scared me. I didn't want to watch it.
To be honest with you, spoiler alert for It. Don't get mad. It wasn't that scary. But it dealt with a lot with the kids, more than I thought it would. The clown was barely in it, to be honest. There were a few scary parts. Like, there was, like, one jump scare. but I saw it coming. I'm like, oh.
Is that the one where he was just, like, in, like, a drain? He was in, like, a sewer. I was like, this is dumb. Like, I saw the trailer for it. I was like, why are you standing in a sewer, you weirdo?
It wasn't that bad, though. I think you should try it.
I probably would only watch it if, like, you would watch it with, or, like, somebody would watch it with, you know what I mean? So it's like, I feel like the best part about horror movies is watching them with your friends and then just making fun of them.
Yeah.
Like, I love watching horror stuff as comedies.
Right.
Seriously, just try it out. It's so much fun.
Me and some of my friends actually get together, find bad Netflix movies, and we just watch them for fun.
Yeah.
You know the actress Bella Thorne?
Yes.
She's in a couple of Netflix movies that we watched a couple nights ago. And no harm on the actress. She's pretty good. But the scripts she has are just so cheesy.
Yeah.
So we watched a couple of them and it was just hilarious. So could do the same with
while
horror.
we're off topic, another Bella.
Yeah.
Again, it's like Kristen Stewart. She's a great actress, but people think that she sucks because she played Bella to a T. Like, if you read Twilight, which I did, I read all 4 of those books, she plays such a good Bella, and people are like, Kristen Stewart sucks at acting. I was like, no, like, you don't understand. She played Bella so well. Like, that, she was Bella.
Yeah. I actually really like Kristen Stewart.
Yeah, me too. Case too.
I'm not a big fan of Twilight. I did read the books too, because I don't like to judge books unless I read them. But I read them, and you're right. Bella's exactly the way she acted her.
Yeah.
She was kind of like angsty and had anxiety and really like quiet. So it's nothing on Kristen Stewart. She portrayed her well. Really
perfectly, honestly. I would say that if you have an issue with an actor in that movie, it would be Robert Pattinson. I don't think he played Edward as well as K-Stu played Bella.
Really? I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm biased towards
We can't get into this right now.
Yeah. Next
Stranger
podcast. Stranger Things again. Sorry, guys.
All right, so let's move on to the next question we have here. Which season 2 character did you like the best and why?
Ooh, so this was a toss-up for me, but I'm gonna say new character, definitely Bob. He was great. I loved him, especially the actor, because he's from Lord of the Rings.
Mr. Frodo.
Yeah, I love him. Sam. And also, he was just so great. I felt like he gave depth to Joyce and Hopper, because he knew them from high school. And I felt like I got to know more about the world just by him saying like, oh, remember this time in high school, you were the cool girl and I was kind of the nerd. And just by him saying that stuff, I was like, ooh, there's more depth to this world. They all know each other. And I just liked him because he was this nerd, but at the end of the day, it was kind of like a Neville Longbottom moment. He kind of saved the day.
And then got, like, devoured.
Then got slaughtered. Which I was upset about, but I know why they're doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Favorite new character. I guess it would have to be Bob, too. Because what? Collie? No.
Yeah.
I mean, Billy? No.
Such a disappointment.
Yeah, Bob.
Yeah.
It would have to be Bob. Just like Bob from Radio Shack. Or there was a moment when he's talking to Will and he's just like, and then I told Mr. Bozo or whatever to go away.
Yeah.
And I was just like, he was like subtly evil in that scene. I was like, is Bob the villain?
You know what? I read that's a reference to It. Because a lot of Stranger Things is based on Stephen King's books, right? And this show takes place in Maine. No, Indianapolis.
Yeah, I was going to say Indiana. Yeah.
I think Bob is from Maine.
Okay.
And he was talking about a clown.
Yeah, he was talking. Yeah, I noticed that.
Yeah.
I actually did notice that when he was talking about that.
Right. But yeah, he was just super cool. You know, at first, I thought he was evil.
Yeah, exactly. When he was in that car, I was like...
I thought he worked for the lab or something, because remember, Will had a weird reaction to him when Will was in the hospital?
Yeah.
And I was like, maybe he's one of those lab guys.
I liked when they brought him in. I love how they destroy that Joyce's house every season. Like, I want season 3 to destroy it in a new way.
Yeah.
Like, when they brought him in and they were just like, what kind of game is this? And he seemed sketch, though.
Yeah.
Even in that moment.
He did at first. But I think...
I like his big hero moment, though, at the end.
Yeah, me too. Made me sad. I wanted to see more of him. But I know what they're doing.
It was pretty sick, too.
Yeah.
That scene was pretty graphic. Like, apparently it was supposed to be more graphic, too, because they had the actor, like, hold blood in it, like, fake blood in his mouth, and he was supposed to, like spit it out, and I was like, ugh, thank God they didn't do that, because that was, like, too much. That one shot from overhead where they're all, like, eating him, I was like, ugh. Like, that one got to me a little bit. I was like, ew.
Do you want to talk about what we think they're trying to do?
For season 3, you mean?
No, why they killed off Bob's
character? I mean, yeah, sure. It's pretty obvious. Unless we're not thinking of the same thing. Hopper and Joyce. Which I don't mind, but... justice for Bob, guys. Justice for Bob. And Barb.
Yeah. I'll talk about her more later. But I like Hopper a lot, too. He wasn't a new character. But I liked his progression and Steve's progression a lot.
Yeah, but we will get into that a little bit later.
Right.
I don't know. I don't really... Something about Hopper that kind of bothers me. Like, it's not like I watch him and he's on screen, I'm like, yeah, that guy. Like, sometimes I'm like, I don't like what you're doing here. Like,
I really like him. Interesting.
I don't know what it is.
I really liked David Harbour and his portrayal. I loved Hopper even in season 1. I was like,
I liked him better in season 1.
Oh, yeah.
To be honest.
Interesting.
Than in season 2.
Yeah.
So we're going into character rankings.
Yeah.
And I have some honorable mentions. Officer Callahan. Do you know who I'm talking about? The guy with the glasses, the white guy?
Oh, yeah.
I love him for some reason. He's funny.
I thought they should have done more with him, though. He had good humor.
You know who he kind of looked like? Maybe you don't know who this is, but Keegan Allen from Pretty Little Liars. He's the guy who played Toby.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah.
I don't think they look that much alike.
You should go back and watch it.
Interesting.
The Demogorgon, because in season 1 there was an actual man in that suit. Yeah, it was like a dude in a suit, and I felt so bad for him.
I had no idea.
Yeah. Mr. Clark, the teacher, and then Barb. So, those are my honorable mentions.
I didn't have any honorable mentions, but I do love Mr. Clark.
Yeah.
Especially when I don't know if this was season 1, I might be getting it mixed up. But there's one time when Dustin calls up, and he's trying to spend a nice night with a lady.
That was season 1, yeah.
Yeah. Mr. Clark's great. I admire that he keeps picking up their calls and answering their questions.
He answers their questions. Yeah. I would be like, do I need to, like, call the, like, social worker? Like, how do we make, like, a saltwater bath or whatever they were trying to figure out? And I was like...
80s, man. 80s.
Exactly. We both have 13, right? Do you want me to go first?
Yeah.
All right, so my 13 was Billy. And it wasn't because... he's necessarily a bad character. It's just he's very one-dimensional, and he didn't have much to do in this season. I have a prediction for season 3 though, but yeah, that's why.
My 13 was Jonathan.
Okay.
I didn't like the Jonathan/Nancy storyline this season. I wasn't feeling it. I kind of like Jonathan first season. He was a kind of emo, kind of side boy who was
like a
quiet.
Boo Radley.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But in this, he was just. I don't know. I wasn't feeling it.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's good enough. My 12 is Max. And it makes me sad because I really like Max. But, like, I did it again from 1 to 13. And I just kept saying, like, oh, well, she'll be the next one. And then I put another name down. I was like, oh, well, she'll be the... And it just happened that way. Like, I feel like a lot of the ones in the middle are going to be very, like, close. Like, they're barely different. Right. They could have, like, they're interchangeable.
Yeah.
My top, like, 3 are... not interchangeable, but like, you know.
These character rankings, I agree, were hard because there were characters I liked, but there's so many that the ones towards the end of my list aren't necessarily me not liking them. They just ended up there because they're ones I liked more.
Also, it's not necessarily just ones I liked, but I also ranked some higher because they were more important to the overall plot.
Yeah. Agreed.
And I was just, sometimes when I'm doing these character rankings for different like television shows and stuff, I have to think about like, if you took that character out of the show, what would happen? Would it feel like I'm missing a lot, like emotional wise or plot wise? And that's kind of how I do it.
That's a good point. I didn't think about that. My 12 was Nancy. Once again, I did not
Nancy.
Really like the Nancy Jonathan thing.
What is it? Jancy?
Jancy?
Nonathan?
Nonathan?
I like Nonathan.
I like Jancy.
I like Nonathan because it's awkward.
Yeah. They're a strange couple. I love Steve, especially now. I think Nancy made the wrong decision.
We'll get into that. But okay.
Yeah, we'll get into that. The Nancy-Jonathan thing is just weird. I feel like they didn't make much progress. I guess they sort of did.
Yeah.
Still, we need #justice for Barb.
Oh, I was like, where did that come from? And then I was like, we're talking about Nancy. Yeah.
See, you didn't even think they related anymore.
Yeah. I just, like, Barb was obviously a plot device. And, like, I think it's funny.
To set them up.
Whatever. I mean, yeah. That's what I'm talking about. It's like a pilot. It's like a pilot season is what it was.
Right.
So, what are we on?
11?
My number 11 is Will.
Mine was Billy.
Okay. Yeah. Those are both Will. Because Billy is short for William.
There you go.
Whoa.
Nice one.
I just thought of, like, what if, like, Billy is, like, the grown-up version of Will, but they're so opposite that it doesn't work. Will, because, I don't know. He didn't do much for me.
He didn't do much for me this season either.
He's literally just, like, he's, like, the plot device. He's the character that keeps the plot going because he's got all the issues.
Right. He was my number 10. I mean, he's just... Poor guy, I feel bad. But
we don't really have anything to latch onto, except for, like, Joyce being like, remember that time that we, like, went and saw a movie and I cried or something like that? And I'm like, okay, but that scene was more about Joyce.
Yeah.
So my number 10 was Lucas.
Yeah.
Just because, like, and honestly, he didn't annoy me so much the first time, but I rewatched season 1 and he is so freaking annoying.
Right.
All he does is say, like, no, I don't want to do this. That's dumb. He's like the contrary to everything.
I think it's also because he was so jealous that 11 was becoming a big thing in Mike's life.
Yeah.
Like, come on. Obviously, she's a girl.
Maybe he has a bromance for Mike.
Maybe. Who knows? My number 10 was Mike, actually.
I thought you said your number 10 was...
Or are we on 10?
We 10? Both just did 10.
9. Sorry. 9 was Mike.
Okay, so was that after... Like, what would it have been if you had just done season 1? Would he be higher up?
He'd probably be much higher up.
Okay.
But I didn't, like... He didn't do much for me again, like Will. In this season, in season 2, he was just on the side, but I liked it because I wanted to see more of the other characters. And I didn't mind sacrificing some of Mike's personality to see progression of the other characters. Mike and his sister, man, this season, they were just
coming in
there.
low.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought the dad was funnier.
Yeah, that dad. What did I do? My number 9 was Jonathan. This is just one of those ones where it's like, he fit there, so I put him at 9.
Gotcha.
I don't know why exactly.
Right.
My 8 was Hopper.
Hopper. Oh, interesting. Why? He just fit there?
I don't know. I really didn't like his thing in season 2. I think that's the big problem. Because I really liked him in season 1. But in season 2, he was kind of like isolating 11 to keep her safe. But I got this weird feeling because he lost his daughter that he was like trying to replace his dead daughter with this girl who didn't want to stay hidden away. And then like he would like get down on her level and have like arguing matches with like a 12-year-old. And I was like, this is weird. Like, I don't know. It just felt uncomfortable. I was like, she's always there. And we saw in season 1 that he's kind of like a druggie and like drinks all the time. And it just made me uncomfortable that like 11 was like kind of almost trapped in that house with him.
I'll tell you my feelings about him when we get to him on my list. But I see what you're saying.
Like, that just kind of made me uneasy a little bit. I was like, ew. And it's like, yeah, I'm trying to keep you safe. It's like, you really don't think 11 can keep herself safe. She literally flipped a car in season 1. Like, I think she's okay.
Yeah. My 8 was Max. I really liked her, but I liked other characters more, so I ranked them higher before
your face,
her.
Mike.
Yeah, sorry, Mike. But I really liked Max. I liked the tomboy aspect a lot. I feel like I could have related with that when I was younger. You too, probably. But she did seem a little bit of just romance in this season.
A plot device.
I'm excited to see what they do with her later on, because there seemed to be a little bit tension with her and Elle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I liked that. But again, they were using her to make tension between her. Yeah.
Yeah.
So she was... Yeah.
We'll see. They can expand on her a lot, I think. She would add a great addition to the group.
Yeah. I really, like, well, they're immature middle schoolers, but I was like, why not add her? She's cool.
Yeah. I actually liked her in Lucas. I thought it was cute. We got to learn more about Lucas. which made me like him more. Mm-hmm. Because in season 1, he wasn't too great. But in this season, it was great because he got to talk more with Max and stuff, and they confided in each other.
My number 7 is Bob. And I think we already kind of talked about Bob.
He's your 7? Mm-hmm. Interesting. My 7's actually Lucas.
Okay.
Yeah. Wow, okay.
I just really liked Bob, but, like, again, he was only there for, like, 1 season, and then he died. And it's like, yeah, I liked him, but I wish we had more, and if we had more, I probably would have ranked him higher.
I see.
Yeah.
I think I did a lot of my rankings based on season 2, how they progressed.
Yeah, and, well, the another issue with Bob was that, like, he was just a constant character that was kept out of the loop, which is the point of his character, to kind of, like, show the audience, look, this is, like, a normal guy, and this is all the crazy people that know what's going on. But, like, if that's the point of your character, there's really not much there. For the majority of season 2, his character was, like, oh, I'm in love with Joyce. I can't believe I'm a nerd and I landed this, like, hot girl. And then, like, Will doesn't like me. I'm going to make him like me. And then the only time I actually really liked Bob was when he finally was, like, a part of the loop.
That's true. I mean, he was out of the loop, but I feel like that's why it was more of a punch when he did those self-sacrificing things.
Yeah, that was great. I like how the nerd, like, saved the day.
Yeah, such a Neville Longbottom. Killing Nagini. Anyway,
sure.
Are we on 6?
Mm-hmm.
Mine is Joyce.
Okay. Do you have any explanation?
Well, I don't know. I feel like season 1, she would have been my 6 too. I like her a lot. I liked the frazzled mom aspect.
She kind of drove me crazy in season 1.
Yeah. But I get it, because that's exactly how a mom would react. I would. And I like how she lets her house get trashed. I love that. She lets the kids run wild.
There's, like, this one scene in season 1 where she's, like, in that little cupboard thing holding the ball of lights, and she's, like, petting the lights, and I just, like, it was so sad because it was, like, this mom crying over her, like, possibly dead child, and I was, like, LOLing so hard. I was like, this woman's insane.
Yeah, because if no one knew, like, the supernatural aspect, it would just look like a crazy woman crying over Christmas lights.
She's like, Will. And she's, like, petting the lights, and I was like, even if that was your son, you shouldn't pet him.
Yeah.
This is weird.
But I like that. I like that she's a little crazy. And she's always frazzled. She's such a perfect mom. I feel like I would have got that crazy for my kid. So, yeah.
Also, they included her... What's her name? Oh, what's the actress' name?
Oh, my gosh. Why am I...
She was huge in the 80s. Iconic. And that's why... Yeah.
Why am I forgetting her name, too? Winona Ryder.
Yeah. Ugh. And so, like, I have a cousin that was a kid in the 80s, and she said that, like, Winona, like, everyone her age loved that she was in this show. Yeah. Because that's what they remember from the 80s, so it's kind of cool.
So cool. I saw something online. She was on the red carpet, Winona Ryder, and she was wearing a shirt with her face on it, and it was, like, a shirt from the 80s. And everyone's saying, like, oh, look how iconic she is. She can wear a shirt with her own face on it. And she could rock it.
Can you imagine if we did that? People would just look at our shirts and then look up at us and they'd be like, what's
millennials.
Wrong with you? Yeah. There's Dan Lemon.
Yeah.
So my number 6 is, and you're going to love this, Nancy. I like Nancy. I don't know. Like, again, I haven't watched the show enough. But what exactly was her role at the end of season 2?
At the end of season 2, she and Jonathan were trying to expose the lab.
Okay.
I
thought that was the middle of season 2. Like, when they're all come back and they're all in the house, Joyce's house, and 11 went to the lab, and Mike and Steve and all of them stayed at the house, and Nancy and Jonathan went somewhere, and I can't remember where they went.
I thought they helped.
With what? They were definitely not at the house, because Nancy left the kids with Steve, and that was the point. But they went somewhere else.
Now I forget, too.
Yes.
Why'd you put Nancy higher on the list than I do? Like, what did you like about her? Because I couldn't find many things I liked, necessarily.
Well, I feel like the main thing is that I was ranking these as a whole show, not just season 2. And I really liked the idea of this girl struggling in season 1. It reminded me overtly of Lindsay from Freaks and Geeks. Like, it was like this good girl that kind of, like...
She even looks like
fell for, like... Steve a little bit, and then, like, I liked how they showed that, like, she almost regretted hanging out with Steve and all his friends. And then I really liked the Nancy and Jonathan in season 1. And then, like, I did like their progression in season 2 also. So
I liked them better in season 1 when they were a budding thing. Mm-hmm. But I didn't like the result in season 2. We'll see. Maybe it'll change in 3 for me.
Oh, was that the episode where they were all outside in the thing and they had Will tied up?
Yeah.
Was that? No, that was the episode before it, I think. That was 8. I think that was 8.
I liked Jonathan, that scene.
I loved that, yeah. Mm-hmm. That was so creepy. It was like, we can't know, like, where he is. That was really cool. Mm-hmm. What were we on? 5, I think?
Yeah, now we're on 5.
All right, my 5 is Joyce.
Mine's at 11.
Aw. Man, what's your number 1?
She wasn't my top, but...
You don't have Mike up there? You don't have 11 up there?
I think my top 5 are good. 11's not my number 1 because I felt like there was a lot of her exploring, which I still liked it. Mm-hmm. My top 5 are characters that I really liked. Mm-hmm. I liked her exploring and stuff. I didn't like the sideline where she went off with Kali. I really did not like that. Yeah. That whole episode I did not like.
Yeah.
I thought
you can literally just skip it.
So useless. Yeah, it had...
The only thing that you would miss, really, if you skip that, is that she changed the way she looks.
Yeah. But at the same time, I think they're setting up for season 3. I did not like that. I did like the aspect of her and her mom.
Okay.
That was cool, where she was trying to connect with her mom and she got flashbacks.
I found that a little boring.
Did you?
Yeah.
I thought the whole Kali episode was boring and an icicle to my heart. I expected better. I was like, this sucks. Yeah. But I guess at the same time, she did hone more of her powers.
I guess. I don't know.
Because it did help her at the end.
Yeah, but that's one of those things where it's like, we have to make this episode have a point. Yeah. So then we wrote it in later.
Right.
That's what it kind of sounded like to me. You have to, like, look out for that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's why she was my 5. I didn't like everything about her this season. Once again, I'm doing it based on this season. I think I should have done entirety.
I'm basing it on the show.
The entire show. Yeah, she would have been, for season 1, I would definitely rank her number 1. Mm-hmm. But for this, she was my 5.
Yeah. All right, so my 4 is Dustin.
Mine is Hopper.
Okay. Well, Dustin is number 4 because he is obviously, like, besides Mike, he's obviously the most important of the friend group. Because Mike's, like, the main character. But, like, Dustin, I find, is the most, like, second important. So, like, Max, no. Lucas, no. Like, you know, of the kids, Will, no. Like, Dustin's obviously, like, he's a great actor. That kid is awesome.
He's amazing.
He's the comic relief, let's be honest.
I love him.
That's what he is. Mm-hmm. And that's why he's not any higher. Because he is the comic relief. He's important to the plot, but I feel like it was just because they realized they're like, wow, this kid is really good at acting, and he's funny, and he's charismatic, so let's make him have a bigger plot line. But yeah, I do love him.
Right. Mine is Hopper, and I'll explain why now. So I understand the point that he was uncomfortable in the way that he dealt with 11, but I liked that. I feel like whenever an actor can make me feel extremely weird like that, they're doing a good job. And I also really love father-daughter aspects in anything. I don't know why. They always get me. Not if it's creepy, like pedophile-ish, but if it's like, I understand why he has this much pain and why he's overprotective. He lost his daughter before. Yeah, now he's trying to
That's the weird thing that, like, it's like he's, like, latching on to this girl that doesn't really want to be with him.
But the thing is, he does adopt her later on.
Well, yeah, but, like, the whole scene, it was like he was trying to separate her from the people she loved. Like, she wanted to see Mike the entire time.
Right.
And he was like, no, it's too dangerous. I was like, I think 11 can take care of herself.
But at the same time, I understand why he did it. Because she doesn't understand the lab is out to get her. And if she went to go see Mike,
Mike would have been in danger.
Mike would have been in danger. You know, he's the adult aspect, you know, thinking for her. And I liked it. I don't know. It was uncomfortable, I get that. But I liked it because I can see the pain he has. He's already looking at her as though she's his daughter. And he is so in pain because he lost the other one.
Yeah.
And now he's trying not to screw up, but in the process he's screwing up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's learning. Yeah, I liked that. I don't know. I think it's a good part on the actor's job when they can make me feel so...
Well, yeah.
I don't know,
I'm not saying that the actor was bad.
Right.
I don't know.
I don't know. That's why I ranked him. I always liked the father-daughter thing. Always. It's just something I gravitate towards. I don't know why.
My number 3 is Steve. Because his character progression is phenomenal.
Yeah.
Like, it's one of the best I've seen in a high school / like kid drama.
Yeah.
Like, literally in season 1 when he was introduced, I was like, oh, so he's like the asshole boyfriend that's going to be gone like halfway through season 1. And then he wasn't gone. Nancy chose him at the end of season 1. I was like, wow, that shocked me. And then in season 2, every single thing about his progression shocked me. And yeah, he was like the most fun to watch him progress because there was a TV show that didn't just make him the jerk.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so like refreshing.
Yeah, and they made him surprisingly like a reflective person. He realized how he was kind of a jerk in the past and he was trying to make up for that, which I feel like a lot of people do in real life instead of going with these typical high school tropes of, oh, he's the jerk once, so he's always going to be the jerk. No, a high schooler can rethink what they did and become better.
And the pairing of Dustin and Steve is a stroke of genius. It reminded me a lot of like what they did with Andy and April on Parks and Rec. Did you ever watch that show?
Yeah.
Where they had these two characters and they didn't really know what they were doing with either of them, and they were like, why don't we just put them together? And then it like ends up being the best thing about the show. Yeah. It's like one of the best things about the entire show was like his like fatherly.
That's a good point.
Towards the kids,
Dustin,
and especially Dustin. But like the part where they're in that bus at night and he was like, you know, like protecting all the kids with the bat and stuff, and they're like, he's so cool. Yeah, I liked that.
My 3 was Bob.
Oh,
we talked a lot about Bob. Yeah. I loved him. What was your 2?
My 2 is Mike.
Mike? Oh, why?
Well, again, because I was rating it with season 1 in mind too. But they, like I said earlier in the podcast, they set all this stuff up and it really paid off. That one moment where 11 walks through the door and Mike and 11 see each other again for the first time and he's like crying, that was enough for him to be very high on my list. That once, and then the next episode when he is like screaming and like yelling and hitting Hopper for like, what did he say? It was like, you asshole or something like that. You're a piece of trash. I don't know what he was saying, but like those 2 scenes were enough. Like I think my favorite kind of romance to watch, no matter what the age is when they start as kind of like, I don't even want to say best friends, but it's like nobody can ever understand them. Like they're soulmates. I like that kind of television show, and I felt like Mike and 11 have that, and I'm just a sucker for that. Like I don't want to watch just like romance, like just like physical attraction, like 50 Shades of Grey. Like no, gross. I want like they're best friends, and then they realize that like literally nobody is better for each other. Right. And even though they're like 12, I still feel like I saw that.
I liked that too. That's a good point. I didn't think about that. That scene was so cute.
When she walked in and he was like almost crying.
I'm going to say my 1 and 2 together because it was Steve and Dustin. I don't know. I should have done it based on the entire 2 seasons.
But this is good because then we each have different lists. So.
That's true. But based on season 2 solely, Steve and Dustin, I do feel like they were kind of side characters, but like you said, I didn't expect those progressions from both of them.
Together.
Yeah. I didn't expect Dustin to rely so heavily on this guy, you know? Especially since Dustin's kind of the one who'll point out if you're a jerk.
Well, think about, like, where you were in season 1. Who, raise their hand if you thought that Steve and Dustin were going to be best friends and almost brotherly by the end of season 2? No one. Like, literally no one.
Yeah.
Steve and Dustin?
And also, I think, I might be wrong on this, but I don't think Dustin has a fatherly figure. He just has his creepy mom and his cats.
That one scene where they were both laughing and they were just like kept laughing. They're like, ha ha. That was awesome. I loved that one scene.
And I don't know. I loved it so much. Even when he like asked him for hair advice and he told him the Farrah Fawcett hair.
Yeah.
I loved it. I don't know.
Yeah, it was really cute.
My question, do you think Steve and Nancy could be a thing again.
Can I do my number 1 and then we'll talk about Steve and Nancy?
Oh, right. I forgot.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
So my number 1 is 11. And she's number 1 because, and this is really easy for me as soon as I, opened the document, I wrote it down, was because when this show is over and done with and people look back on it, she is the face of the show.
Oh, yeah.
She is the intrigue. Think about if you got rid of 11. How, big of a difference. That season 1 was her, she was the show.
Yeah.
And I feel like even though in season 2 she wasn't the show, there's just you can't get rid of that character. She's, in my opinion, the most important character.
Right.
Because she's so interesting. Everything about her is interesting. The way that she can't interact with normal people is so interesting to me.
Right.
And she talk and she's like, I don't know what dancing is, and Mike is like, I don't either. Or whatever, and I was like, that's so cute.
She's an iconic character, the shaved head and the pink
the
dress.
Phenomenon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The leaky nose, the blood.
Yeah, she's the icon of this whole show.
Right. My mom doesn't watch many American TV shows or series, but she loves 11. She talks about 11 outside of the show. My mom loves that character.
And her name is 11. She's so iconic.
That's how you know she sticks. She's the thing that gets people.
Exactly. And she's the one where it's oh, you haven't seen Stranger Things? Who is this? People will be like, oh, that's 11. They just know. It's the face. She's the face of the show.
On Halloween, you see grown men and women dress as her and stuff. Yeah.
Also, Millie Bobby Brown is amazing.
She's adorable.
No, but so she's basically already a seasoned 25-year-old. You watch her in interviews and you're like, how are you 13?
I think a lot of the actors are. Yeah. It's crazy. There's so much.
It makes sense. Yeah. When you think about it.
Plus, she's super classy. This might be a British thing. Yeah. They're always super classy, even when they're young. I don't know. Just gets you.
But it's so also cute. Just the acting ability that she has is crazy. That face, that I'm gonna kill you face. I'm gonna destroy you with my brain face. Is how do you do that?
She's great. I hope.
I want them to give her more. Give her more.
I hope they don't. I hope this doesn't change her, the actress. Because, sometimes young actors can, change. But I feel like British kids are pretty good at sticking to their normal ways.
So anyway, that's why she's number 1. It just felt like that. Even before I watched the show, I knew who 11 was.
Yeah. She's great. And the Eggo waffles thing.
Well, I feel like she's a big reason why this is a phenomenon. If they had cast her wrong or characterized her wrong, this show wouldn't have been what it was.
Right. That's a good point.
So do you want to talk about Jonathan and Nancy? And Steve?
Oh, yeah. I was just wondering from you. Do you remember at the end in the dance scene and Steve was looking at her? What do you think about that?
My immediate reaction to those was... I think that Jonathan and Nancy are better together than Steve and Nancy. But I know because I have lived on Earth that they're going to make it a threesome. Not a threesome. A love triangle.
Hey, kids show.
A love triangle. Right. That's what I meant.
Yeah, I get it. I get what you mean.
Yeah. Because, I've been alive and I've watched television before. That look at the end was there on purpose, and they're going to make it so... Jonathan's probably going to do something next season, or, he's not going to be a good boyfriend, and then, Steve is going to kiss her. It's... Yeah. And I can see it coming, and that kind of bothers me. I almost would like them to just be do the thing that we're not expecting, and make him not go back to Nancy.
Right. You know what? So, I'm not a big fan of the Nancy-Jonathan thing, but I agree. I don't think she would be better with Steve.
I think she's better with Jonathan.
Yeah.
Well, also, if you put her back with Steve, what the heck is Jonathan going to do?
Yeah.
He's Will's brother. That's his one role.
Right.
And he's Nancy's love interest. That's his other role. Yeah. He doesn't really have much else.
He's the stable emotions for the mom, too.
Yeah, but... Yeah.
Calm down, Mom. Calm down.
I would like it if they explored it and Steve said I still he put himself out there, and then I would like it for Nancy to be I love Jonathan. That would be a good scene for me.
Right.
They can explore it. I just don't want her to go back to him because I feel like if she goes back to him, it's just because Jonathan's a jerk.
Yeah.
And Jonathan's not a jerk. We know he's not. So it would just be out of character. I don't know.
Do you think they'll do more with the older kids now that they introduce Billy? Do you think they're
I
going to
have a
show
prediction
more?
about Billy, actually.
What is it? Hit me.
Do you want to do it when we're talking about season 3?
Sure. Do you want to talk about season 3 now?
Yeah, we can just move on.
Okay.
So, let me just do my first prediction first.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like the past 2 seasons we've been fighting like the apprentice is. And now we're finally going to meet the Emperor in season 3. And the Shadow Monster is going to be like the Master, the Phantom Menace, if you will. And
there you go.
yeah, and I feel like that's what the Shadow Monster is. It's the genius behind all these like demodogs, all the stuff. That's what the Shadow Monster is.
So I guess that's a good prediction.
Or the Mind Flayer. What's the difference?
I think the Mind Flayer is the Shadow Monster.
Okay, good. That's what I meant, the Mind Flayer. Yeah, the Shadow Monster.
That's a good prediction. I have a theory. So I hope season 3 goes into this, why it was created, the Upside Down. I think the lab was trying to find a way to spy on the Russians, and they tried to dabble in some supernatural stuff, and as a result, this portal opened by accident. That's my theory. And you know what? You're right. The Mind Flayer could be like the leader or the master behind it, the puppet
That's what
master.
I think.
Yeah. That's a good point. I hope they talk more about the lab's original intentions.
Yes, please. Like, and the Dr. Brenner. Like, he was barely in season 2.
They were setting him up to return, obviously. So I really hope they do that.
I would like to have a face-to-face with Brenner and 11. That would be sweet.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no. Brenner and Mike. That would be a cool scene because he would like be like, what did you do to, like, why would you do that to her? Or, you know, that would be a cool scene.
I would like to see 11 and him.
Well, what if, like, Brenner explains to Mike, like, what he was doing? And, like, Mike, like, I don't know. I feel like here's the thing. I feel like 11 is the main character of this show. And the face of the show. But I feel like Mike is our entry point. So we learn everything through Mike's eyes.
Right. But don't you want to see 11 duke it out with...
Yeah, eventually. I mean, there could be 2 scenes. It doesn't have to be just her.
Honestly, I would like to see Hopper, too, because I like that father-daughter aspect. And Brenner was kind of like a father to her.
Father?
Yeah, the creep father versus the angry father.
The less creep father.
Yeah.
And Officer Callahan's just chilling, like, hey, so you adopted a kid.
Yeah.
I love that guy. Anyway, and my other prediction is that the Mind Flayer is going to use Billy. Because Billy has nothing right now. And if they bring him back, they have to give him some sort of plot except being just, I'm a jerk plot. And he's an easy target because he's already emotionally just a mess. Yeah. And he already hates the group. And he's like strong. He's stronger than Will. He wouldn't fight it, is my point.
Yeah.
I feel like Billy's going to be the puppet? New apprentice kind of thing.
You know, I felt bad for Billy when I found out the dad aspect. And I was hoping that they would kind of redeem him somehow.
I'm kind of glad they didn't yet.
Yeah, I'm glad they didn't yet. But I hope they do that in the next season. I don't know if I want him to be like a puppet. Because then it just seems like, oh, we're like crapping all over this character. You know what I mean? But...
Unless he had a Vader moment.
Yeah. Which I guess is possible.
Could. Well, I mean, right now he's just like a racist garbage monster. So he would have to do something really big. Like, what if he had a moment where, like, his love for his half-sister?
Half-sister.
His love for his half-sister, he, like, saves Lucas or something.
Yeah.
That would be cool.
The whole time I was thinking there would be more of a showdown between him and Lucas. Because he seemed really pissed off that she was getting involved with some boy.
It wasn't the boy part.
You think it was a racist part? I just thought it was a boy.
No, he said something
You're right.
Mildly racist.
You're right,
and I was
he
like,
did.
You piece of garbage.
You're right. I forgot that. But he did kind of have a showdown, but I feel like it was more for him and Steve. And I like how he's kind of like the new cool boy.
Yeah, I like that. King Steve.
California. Yeah. And Steve's like, the boy down the block who's kind of cool at school.
I think that made you like Steve even more. I think Billy was there on purpose.
Yeah.
So that Steve wasn't just like the douchebag anymore. It's like, no, look, there's a bigger douchebag now. Yeah. Like Steve.
You know what? My brother was saying this. It's not a big plot device, but what if Billy is actually gay? And he's, like, overcompensating.
Yeah, I thought about that in the shower scene.
Yeah, that's what I thought about in the shower scene, too. And I was like, that's interesting. But, I don't know. It's not going to be, like, a major thing.
Could it be a love square? Maybe he has a thing for Steve.
Yeah. Huh. I don't know. I don't know if I'd like that, though.
Well, because he's horrible. I mean, Billy...
Yeah. Hopefully they make him more likable.
But I feel like the only way to really make him more likable is to integrate him more into the plot and with the shadow monster. And all.
Or have him stand up to his dad, I guess.
Mm-hmm. So we have one thing left, if you're done with all the predictions.
Well, I have another prediction.
Okay.
I definitely think they're going to talk more about the experiments.
Yeah.
You know?
I hope so. I hope they don't do the thing where they just keep adding new characters and they don't talk about any of the past questions.
I wouldn't mind if they talked about some of the past experiments. Maybe they were failed or something, like number 9 or 10. Mm-hmm. Like, why is it 8 jump to 11? Where's it in between?
There's definitely a 9 and a 10.
They're definitely going to talk about them. I hope. I don't think 3 will be the final season either. I'm pretty sure they said they're gunning for 5 seasons.
I love it when a show says, yes, I have a 5-season idea. I don't want more than 5, even if it's the most popular show ever. I have an idea that's going to start in 1, end in 5, and it's going to be solid. I'm like, yes, please, don't last so long that it gets horrible.
I respect that, too, because it means they care more about their writing than the money influx. Mm-hmm. You know, I mean, they will lose money if they don't do more seasons, but I feel like writing, come on, stick to some good writing.
And this is completely off topic, but I watched a show called Longmire, and it's about an aging sheriff in Wyoming.
My brother loves that show.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
And they did the final season. I watched it, and I was like, yes, this is... And I tweeted about this, and I was like, this is a show that actually cares enough about its fans. It has enough respect about its characters that it could go on for another season, but it decided to stop.
Yeah.
And they stopped it in a beautiful way. All the characters were still there. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So you could watch a progression from 1 to, I think it was 6. And it was just this beautiful, like, way to end it. And I was like, thank God that there are still people out there that haven't sold their soul for money.
Mm-hmm. Have you seen the last episodes on Netflix?
Mm-hmm. I've seen all of them. I've seen the whole season now. And
my brother
the whole
likes
show
that
now.
show too.
And I was. It's so refreshing to know that there are still writers out there that care enough about their characters that they're not just doing it for money.
Yeah. Because there's so many times when you love a show, but it just goes off the rails because the writer gets greedy.
Mm-hmm. Shonda Rhimes.
Yeah. And also, honestly, I thought that Pretty Little Liars writer did that too.
There's a difference with Pretty Little Liars, though, and it's that the core 4 never wavered. There wasn't a time when... Like, all of them were in every episode.
Yeah.
And that show, when it comes right down to it, you can like the ships, you can like the, mystery part of it with A, but when it really gets down to it, the show is about the 4 girls.
Yeah.
And if they had lost one of them, it would have been so stupid to keep going. Mm-hmm. And even with Allison, the core 5 were always in that show from the beginning to end, which is another reason why How I Met Your Mother wasn't as bad as some other shows that lose almost all their characters, Grey's Anatomy, and still keep going.
Yeah.
It's like the core group of the show, no matter how bad the writing got, no matter how many ideas you've run out of, we're still there.
Right.
So it was still good.
Yeah. I agree. It was about the girls, but I feel like after a while it did get a little out of hand.
What got out of hand was that they had a new A after season 2 finale, and then that A wasn't revealed until the middle of season 6.
Yeah.
That was a really long time.
They dragged it out.
They dragged that out so hard. You have no idea how hard it was to get through season 5.
Money makes the world move around. Yeah, I hope they don't do that with this show, with Stranger Things.
I really don't think they will.
I read that they were thinking about 5 seasons.
But no more, please.
They didn't say no more. They were thinking about 5, which makes me think they have a setup already.
Yes, and I love it when they have a freaking setup.
That's what I would do.
It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be set in stone, but I want a main idea.
Yeah. That's what I would do. One of these writers that I really enjoy his writing, he says that he actually writes the ending and like some of the middle parts first, and he just fills in the pieces as he goes along, which I feel like I would do.
Well, there's something to be said for going with the flow, and with television shows you kind of have to do that. Can I get all the actors back? Can I afford that? Can I afford the music? There's some things that you can't avoid, like what happens if somebody in my cast gets pregnant and they can't be in the show.
Yeah.
Hopefully not Millie, but maybe Nancy. But, like stuff like that. There's stuff that you can't avoid, but there are some times, and Grey's is the perfect example, where I'm watching this show, and I'm like, you literally pulled that out of your ass. Like, you made that up on the spot. It's so obvious. It's like, you didn't plan this out at all. Or they have a really good idea. Like, there's one part in Grey's Anatomy where they bring back Alex's dad. And that's a huge thing for Alex. And I was like, ooh, wow, this is a good idea. Like, they can do so much with it. And then they just, like, crap on it. And they didn't do anything good with it. And I was like, oh my god, missed opportunities hurt so bad.
Yeah.
I just want a night, like, a plot.
Right.
Just a plan.
Yeah, this show so far is going well, and I hope it goes well for the rest.
I don't think it's stellar. Like, when I watched the show, I expected it to be better than it was, to be honest. Yeah, because everyone was so obsessed with it. And I was just like, this is probably amazing. And it's not amazing.
You know, you watched season 1 and 2 back to back, right? I watched season 1 and then a gap for like 2 years. And I thought it was amazing. I barely binge shows. I watched this whole show in one sitting, which is mind-blowing because I can't imagine myself sitting for that long, but I did. And then I had to wait for like 1.5 years or 2 years. So maybe it's because we watched both back to back.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
Although, like, I'm not dying for season 3 right now. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, okay, whatever.
I agree. I feel like I was more dying for season 2.
The most bingeable shows I've ever watched, while we're off the rails, is, well, Grey's. Oh my god. I can binge that show even when I know what's going to happen. Prison Break. Holy crap. Have you seen... Okay, season 2 of Prison Break, 2, 3, and 4, But season 1, it's like almost impossible to stop yourself. I remember I discovered it last year around this time, and I don't stay up late. I was staying up till 3 in the morning because I couldn't stop watching it.
Yeah.
Like, I just couldn't.
Yeah.
I could barely keep my eyes open, but I couldn't stop watching it.
Yeah.
Revenge.
I have not seen
Hella
Revenge.
satisfying. That was what happened when my brother went on a college visit and I stayed in the hotel room. I watched it for 7 hours.
Did that show get canceled or did they end it?
No, they ended it.
Nice.
They had a 4-season plan and they ended it. Although I stopped after season 1.
Oh, it didn't end well though.
No. I could talk for hours about that. Maybe we should do that.
Okay.
A podcast about that. Good God. And those are like the big 3
Yeah.
that I can binge like crazy.
I'm not big on binging shows. I don't know. I always hate myself afterwards. But I did it with Stranger Things.
I always hate myself.
I
hate myself more when I binge on food.
I've done it with like an anime.
Oh God.
I don't mind anime. Sometimes they have like adult concepts. It just looks cartoony. And I don't know, I'm a big Game of Thrones show person.
I'm trying to think of
but it has not... Okay, I'm going to go on a little side note, but the last season of Game of Thrones, if any of you out there know what I'm talking about, I did not like it. The writer would not have written it that way. But, you know, I guess they had to do it because they've gone off the books now. Because the books aren't finished.
Agreed.
So now they're writing their own thing, you know? And now
they
it's
can't
just
consult
awful.
with the author?
They do, but it's gotten to a point where the author...
right? Yeah.
The author is like, well, I want to save the real story for my books. I don't want you to reveal it in the show.
True. Oh, I see.
And so now they're doing their own independent free reign. And none of this would happen the way the author wrote them.
Agreed.
So I don't like it. Yeah, there you go. Another example.
What would... Well, I was going to say what they could do if they were really smart, and I know nothing about Game of Thrones, but it would almost be better if they waited for the books to come out, because then, like, imagine waiting like 4 years, and you're a huge Game of Thrones fan, and you have to wait like 4 years. Can you imagine when it came back, how, like, exciting it would be
the
for
world
the show?
would crack a little bit.
Exactly. I think that would be a smart game plan. And then the people like me who wouldn't read the books no matter, like, how much I liked it, because I don't like reading, like... I would explode if I was like, I haven't seen it in 4 years. My life has changed slightly in the past 4 years, and now it's back, and it's like, oh my God.
You know what the issue is, though? The author, he's an older man, and it's like an epic novelization, right?
I've seen them on the shelves. I'm like, no.
Literally like an Odyssey.
Yeah.
You know, he takes a long time to write them.
Yeah.
He takes like 6 years.
Oh, for one book?
Oh, yeah. Because there are 1,000 pages.
Okay.
Yeah. That's the kicker. Actors get older, sadly.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. The actor, if it was like 3 years, maybe, but 6. No. So anyway, we wanted to take a Buzzfeed "Which character are you?" quiz. Which kid are you most like based on the 12 random questions? Okay, so this isn't like, we can't get like Hopper. We're going to get a kid.
We're going to get a kid.
Okay. So do you have it up on your...
I do not. Let me get it. So I guess we'll read out the questions to you guys.
Mm-hmm. And then the possible answers, and we'll just pick.
Mm-hmm. And we'll tell you what our answers are. Hold on.
I always love taking these quizzes, and then I go back and I take... Like, I pick the answer the answer I would least likely pick, so I get the exact opposite of who I would want.
That's a good idea.
You on the Wi-Fi?
No. May I have it?
Mm-hmm.
I had a 5 for several years.
What?
Whoa.
What?
That's fancy.
What? Oh my god.
That's crazy.
I'm gonna explode. I think we need to tell the people what just happened.
Yeah,
I just tried to share my Wi-Fi password with Amy, and like I opened my phone because my password is in my photos because I got it locked and loaded, and my phone just like came up and it was like share the passcode, and I was like share, and then it just like typed it in on her phone, and then she got it. That was the coolest thing ever.
It just typed it in.
Oh my god.
That's crazy.
You know, when we listen to this in like 3 years, we're just gonna be like, those freaking nerds.
That's normal everyday stuff.
Yeah, but like this was a big deal right now.
Right.
Okay, whatever.
Alright guys, here's a quiz.
We'll do every other question so you can do the first question.
Okay. Question 1. Pick a band. One Direction, Bastille, Maroon 5, Coldplay, Fall Out Boy, or the Beatles. What would you go for?
Name a song that Bastille is.
Pompeii?
Okay. I think Coldplay is what I would go for, because they kind of remind me of like...
I'd go the Beatles, to be honest. I like old songs.
U2, yeah. They kind of sound U2-ish.
They do.
I like a lot of their songs that they've used a lot on Graze. So, all right, next one. Choose a superhero: Captain America, Batman, Black Widow, Superman, Hulk, or Storm. To be honest, I really don't know any of them.
Oh, shame. I love superheroes.
Who the heck is Black Widow? Is
she is the Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah, Johansson. Yeah.
I'd go Batman. I'm a DC fanboy. Sorry, guys.
I have a problem with Batman because the only reason why he's powerful is because he has money, which is like the opposite of what I want. Who's Storm?
Storm is an X-Men character. She's beautiful. She's got long white hair, and she causes storms.
Oh, that one. Yeah. F you, Superman.
Choose a mythical creature: a unicorn, dragon, phoenix, mermaid, werewolf, or a griffin.
A griffin is like a
half lion, half eagle.
Oh, that's not what I was thinking. Okay.
It's a lion with like eagle wings and an eagle head.
Okay.
It's cool.
That sounds cool. It sounds also really creepy. Unicorn, no.
I'd definitely go dragon.
Okay. Khaleesi.
Oh, I love Khaleesi.
Phoenix, no.
Phoenix is cool.
Mermaid, no. Griffin, no.
Werewolf, they're cool.
I'm gonna pick werewolf.
Yeah.
Although Jacob Black needs to go die. Pick a Harry Potter character. Harry Potter, Ron Weasley, Hermione Granger, Ginny Weasley, Luna Lovegood, Neville Longbottom. Ours are going to be so opposite on this one. Right away, it's either Harry or Hermione.
Like, I was going to go Hermione.
I was going to go Harry.
I
used to have a huge crush on Daniel Radcliffe.
Really? Mm-hmm. I had a crush on Cedric Diggory.
I could see that.
I loved him so much.
But Daniel Radcliffe, Goblet of Fire. He was like slightly older than I was, and I was like, yeah.
I also liked his hair at that style.
Yes, and everyone's like, no, it looks dumb long. I was like, have you seen him in the fifth movie?
Okay, pick a drink: water, tea, Coke, coffee, energy drink, or milk.
See, this is hard because like what time? Like I love water.
Yeah.
Because like I don't drink any like soda or anything, but
Me
like
too.
coffee is like my jam. Yeah. I can't live without coffee. I'm gonna go coffee.
I like coffee too, but at the end of the day, I choose tea over coffee. Fun fact, guys. Tea.
Pick a movie genre: horror, comedy, sci-fi, romance, action, documentary. Well, documentary's out.
Yeah, same. I love me some sci-fi. I love me some action.
I don't really like horror that much. I feel like horror is more like a group activity.
Right.
comedy movies always suck.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Like, I like comedy TV shows, but
there's never any solid comedy movies.
I like romance, but they're so predictable.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go with sci-fi, because sci-fi you can have romance, comedy, you can have all that in it.
I like thrillers more than horrors.
Action is just like, what? Action is like Avengers, right?
Yeah, Avengers or like Fast and Furious or something.
What? I mean, Star Wars is sci-fi, right?
I'd go sci-fi. Yeah, Star Wars is sci-fi. Pick a social media platform. Twitter, Snapchat, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, or Tumblr.
Well, this one's hard for me, because it's between Twitter and YouTube.
I don't use any of them except Snapchat and YouTube.
I use Twitter, Snapchat, YouTube. YouTube is where I upload the podcasts. Hint, wink.
Definitely choosing YouTube, guys.
But Twitter is like how I interact and how I get like all my news. And I check Twitter a lot. And I feel like I get more out of Twitter than I do YouTube.
What would you spend more time on, too?
Oh, God. It's definitely between Twitter and YouTube.
Well, if you get more out of Twitter, I'd go Twitter.
The thing with Twitter is that, like, I use it to, like, oh, I wonder if this trailer has come out yet. Let me just go on Twitter.
Yeah.
Or, like, yeah, I'm going to pick Twitter. I think it's more versatile.
Yeah.
All right. Choose an actor/actress. Jennifer Lawrence, Emma Watson, Chris Evans, Andy Samberg, Dylan O'Brien,
Margot
Robbie. Who's that?
She played Harley Quinn.
Oh, okay.
She also played... Do you know Tanya Harding, that movie?
Yes.
She also played Tanya Harding.
Well, she's out because I haven't really seen her that much. Dylan O'Brien, no.
I'm going for Emma Watson.
Chris Evans. No, Jennifer Lawrence for me. I love her.
Speaking on Jennifer Lawrence, by the way.
She'd do something
to
bad.
go off topic for a little. I'm not a huge fan anymore. I used to be.
We can talk about this.
Yeah.
I agree with you a little bit.
Yeah.
Because she stopped. She does that thing now where she, like, knows she's famous.
I think that, and also she's gotten to the point where she's trying to be too relatable. I get it. You're a normal girl.
Yeah, she's trying to be relatable, whereas in the beginning she just was relatable because she was herself.
Now she's just saying so many outrageous things, and I'm like, okay. Even I'm not that relatable. Like,
yeah. I still love her. Like, out of all the other people on this list, I mean, if Daisy Ridley was on this list, I would, like...
You see the trailer for Jennifer's new movie? Looks
Red
good.
Sparrow?
Yeah.
I haven't seen the trailer, but I've seen a lot on Twitter.
Looks good. It's coming out. All right. Choose a profession. Ghostbuster, food critic, love guru, executioner, crime scene investigator, or fortune teller. Interesting.
So there are a lot of ways to think about this question.
Yeah.
One, what's going to make me the money?
True.
But still,
Definitely
me live
love
the
guru.
lifestyle that I want to live.
Exactly. I want to eat.
So, food critic.
Right.
Because then you wouldn't have to buy food.
But I don't want to eat all the time.
I also don't want to be a murderer, so I'm just not going to do executioner.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't believe in ghosts, so ghosts are out.
Okay. Love guru?
I took one forensic class in high school, and it sucked.
Really? I loved that class. I took the same class.
But I still love crime scene stuff because I feel like that's the way my brain works. It's like I like mysteries.
I feel like you would go that way too.
I don't want to be a fortune teller because no.
I want to be a fortune teller.
Really?
I don't know why. I just want to be able to tell people their fortunes, even if it was false.
I can totally see you just be like completely like negging people. Just be like, you're gonna like, oh my god, I can totally see that. Just be like, I know because I'm a fortune teller. Yeah, I'm gonna be a crime scene investigator.
I'd have a crystal ball and a turban and everything.
A turban?
Yeah.
Oh god. Pick a city to live in. Antwerp,
I think it's Munich.
Munich, Dublin, Florence, Nice or Nice? Nice. And then Seoul?
Seoul. That's in Korea.
Read this one. Yeah, actually, I didn't know where any of these were, so I had to look all of them up.
Yeah.
And I picked...
Where's Antwerp? I know where the others are.
And so anyway, I did them based on weather.
Mm.
And I think it was Florence, Belgium, is where Antwerp is.
Ooh, this is hard.
Florence had the best weather.
I'd go Dublin or Seoul. I've always wanted to go to Ireland. And I do...
Where's Munich?
Munich, Germany?
Okay.
Maybe I'm wrong.
I think... No, it was Nice that had the best... Or whatever. I'm going to call it Nice.
Nice.
France.
But they are also nice.
It has nice weather.
Stop.
I live in Nice.
I've always wanted to go to Ireland.
It's 48 and raining there right now.
In Nice?
Mm-hmm.
But I do love Asia.
Here's the thing. Ireland, I would go there for, like, the culture. But, like, Nice, I would go there for the weather. So I'm going to pick Nice.
I'm going Dublin. J'ai choisi.
Yeah, exactly.
Je me sais
Can
pas.
I have a baguette?
Give me that croissant.
Yeah, slaps it out of my hand.
You know what's funny about French people? I read that there's this paradox that they eat all this buttery, bready food, but they're super slim.
Yeah. And Italians, too.
Yeah, I think it's because they walk everywhere.
Probably. I mean, it also could be that they don't eat a lot of it.
Yeah.
They eat it at every meal, but their
That's
meals
true.
are so much smaller. Their portion size is smaller.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind living that life.
Me neither. European life seems pretty great.
Pretty solid.
Yeah.
Pick a fast food joint. Burger King, KFC, McDonald's, Chipotle, Harvey's, and In-N-Out Burger.
You're gonna laugh, but my uncle used to pronounce Chipotle Chipotle. Chipotle. And I don't think anyone in our family has ever corrected him. So he's like, "You want to go to Chipotle?" And I was like, "Sure."
Your poor uncle.
Ironically, if he listens to this, he'll probably know, but
it's okay.
Shout out.
I said Chipotle.
That's even better. That's the best one I've ever heard. Chipotle. I'm gonna call it that from now on. Burger King, no.
Yeah.
In-N-Out Burger, gross. Harvey's,
I've
out.
never been there.
I've been there once, and like I got fries, and it like soaked through the bag. It was disgusting.
What's Harvey's?
It's a fast. Well, yeah, obviously.
What do they have? Burgers?
Yeah, I think so. It's like a southern thing, I think. McDonald's, no, that's so predictable. Chipotle.
Me too. It also seems like the better for you option. Not that it's that
Even
much
though
better.
it might not be.
Yeah.
Choose a dessert. Cheesecake, ice cream, chocolate cake, waffles, cookies, donuts. I love these kind of questions because it's like waffles. It's like 11.
Yeah.
It's like, no, wow.
Egos.
Yeah. What if Egos, yeah. Cheesecake, I don't like cheesecake. I don't like
Shame.
what's it called? That they put in
Cream cheese.
Yeah, I don't like it. Like I want cream cheese on a bagel. I don't want it in my cake.
But have you ever tried the different flavored ones at Cheesecake Factory?
They're so heavy.
They are. You don't have to eat the whole thing.
Yeah.
Like share it with
we
5
should go
people.
out to dinner sometime.
Okay.
And just buy
Deal.
like
Just taste all of them.
Yeah. Can we skip appetizers and the entree?
Yeah.
I'd like dessert now.
Yeah.
Exactly. I actually knew a guy that ate dessert. He ordered dessert at restaurants before dinner.
Interesting.
Because his logic was that if a meteor like hit the earth, at least he had dessert.
That's a good point. I'm big on dessert, to be honest. If I could be addicted to anything, it's definitely sweets.
I don't know if that...
Dead
if I could be addicted to anything, it would not be...
I said it wrong, but I mean, if I were to get addicted, it wouldn't be drugs. I would get addicted to
that's
sweets. Good. Yeah, at least
if I
I'll be
could
fat.
choose to get addicted to something, it would be like healthy eating.
Yeah,
because then I would be
there's
like
also
healthy.
A name for that. It's called orthorexia.
That sounds not good.
Yeah, I know, right?
Oh, God.
But, like, my thing is, if you're addicted to healthy eating, what's wrong with that? You know?
Addictions don't have to be bad.
I know, but there's a name for it. It's, like, clinically... Whatever. I guess people...
We're off topic.
Yeah.
Yeah, cheesecake's out. Waffles is out because I know that they want you to pick it if you want 11, and no. Cookies, I don't like the crunchy cookies. I like the chewy cookies.
Cookies, all cookies.
Donuts, I feel like donuts are good, but there's like nothing there. It's like all fluff.
What? What, Emily? What are you talking about? Emily!
I like ice cream. Chocolate cake.
I'm a cookie connoisseur.
Cookies.
I love eating cookies.
I'm gonna go with... Okay, it's down between ice cream and cookies for me.
I'm going cookies.
I eat ice cream more. Because I like that halo top stuff.
Oh, yeah.
I had that once. Ice cream. God damn it. I got the same characters I got last time.
Who'd you get?
And I picked different answers. I got Max.
I got Max also. Interesting. We chose very different answers.
Yeah, and I, like, spoiler, I had already taken this quiz before, and I chose different answers than I chose the first time.
Did you? Mm-hmm. Weird.
Just depending on how I was feeling today.
I forgot what answers I chose first. I took this quiz also, and I forgot what
Fun fact, her last name is Mayfield. I didn't know that.
Me neither.
You are independent and fierce. Your cleverness and confidence helps you stand up for yourself. Cool. So now can we retake it just real quick, choosing the opposite answers? We won't be announcing all the questions. Right. I just want to choose like the one.
All right, we'll choose the opposite of what we like.
I don't like any of these superheroes.
Just go for Hulk.
Okay. Ron all the way. No. Maybe Luna.
What?
I can't.
I chose Ginny.
Ron.
I'm not into Ginny. What? You chose Ron over Ginny?
Ron is my least favorite character.
What?
No, Luna is.
Why?
Because I didn't read the books. Pick a movie genre. Documentary. F that. Okay, so I don't use Instagram or Facebook. But I think I don't use Instagram more. I don't know. Facebook. I'm going to choose Facebook because Facebook is dumb.
I chose Tumblr because it makes me angry.
I have a Tumblr, though.
I've been on it a couple times, and it's cool, but things I see on there make me angry, so I throw my computer.
Okay, so, like, I don't want to be an executioner, but I feel like I'd be better as an executioner than I would be at, like, a love guru.
I'd choose the one I wouldn't want to be.
Well, I wouldn't want to be an executioner just because I don't like to murder people.
Yeah, that's...
okay, I'm going to choose
that's
that
definitely...
That's a good reason.
Yeah.
Okay, what'd you get?
I got Dustin.
I got Mike.
Interesting. I'm sad I got
He's
Dustin.
So cute. Look at his little face.
Yeah.
Alright, so this is what I'm not. You are not a leader who is loyal and cares about your friends. You can be a little bossy sometimes. You can't be a little bossy. But you are not just trying to save your friends.
Emily,
don't be so camera shy. Remember to smile. So I'm not camera shy and I smile a lot, which is completely false.
I'm trying to think if this is like you. I feel like you
This would be my opposite.
Yeah, I know. But I feel like that's not exactly
That's funny because
opposite
I am very loyal about my friend.
I feel like you are. And I feel like you're kind of a leader too sometimes. I think you could. I don't know.
I can be bossy.
Apparently, I am not the funny friend who is logical or smart. My sarcasm and curiosity don't help me survive.
In your face.
I'm not confident. Don't keep my curiosity door locked. I'm so sad.
In your freaking face, Amy.
Dustin's my opposite. Hey, opposites attract, alright?
So
maybe I could be like him.
But I love how we both got Max. Like, that checks out. We both have the same exact sense of humor.
Right. But that's... At the same time, it's weird because we chose different answers.
And our opposites are different.
Yeah.
Like Mike and Dustin.
Weird.
So you're not funny at all.
Yeah. I am pretty dull.
Because you don't have bed. You say in monotone.
Yeah.
I suck. Mike. Okay. Well, I'm just going to have to live with that.
Yeah. That's alright. You're not a leader. Forget it.
I'm a follower.
Yeah.
Do you want to, like, talk about what we could possibly do next? Or do you want to leave it a mystery?
Let's keep it a mystery.
Okay.
We'll keep you guys guessing.
Mostly because we have no idea.
Yeah. Well, no.
That's true. We have some ideas. We got some stuff in the
works.
In the works, yeah.
Yeah. Keep watching, guys.
Well, keep
or
listening.
Yeah, sorry about that, but
all right. Well,
sure.
See ya.
Bye, guys.